This is the time for empty courtesies. Welcome back. After some amount of hiatus, Steve and I are here to discuss his book, 500 Years After. Today we're on chapter the 11th, which treats of Kavrin's meeting with Erich and Tizendra, who arrive in Jagira after a journey in which they make very good time.
I want to mention, just on the technical side, that we're trying some new software to make it look as if we are in the same room and physically, like, see if this works. Looks like I'm touching her and stuff. So let us know if that works.
I worked pretty hard on the code for this since, I totally code things all the time with alphanumeric things and brackets.
Numbers. She uses numbers sometimes. Yeah.
That's stuff that I do. So anyway, Stephen.
I really love writing to Zendra.
Tizendra gets in some poignant commentary in this chapter, as she presumes that the assassination attempt was just directed towards the wrong person. Super poignant.
Poignant, I guess, yeah. And
do you use Tizendra as a way to both make the reader laugh and also tell the reader things that they should have been able to figure out on their own? I know you let us...
What an interesting
You
question.
like to let us figure things out on our own because then we are more invested.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard for us to catch up.
It just popped into my head. If there's anyone... I'm assuming anyone watching this is a Firefly fan, because all right-thinking people are, is she plays in many ways a similar role to Jane. Is whatever she says is wrong. And by being wrong, she can highlight what's right.
Interesting. Okay.
And I don't think I did that consciously, and it might not hold up, but I think there's some similarities there.
There's a little bit in here about food, where Kavrin, towards the beginning, eats, basically a snack, and then goes to speak with His Majesty while he's at dinner with the consort, and there's a nice little bit where he's trying not to be like a dog salivating at the table. I think that was a nice way to sort of show the class difference.
It's part of that comes from Renfest. There are two things about working at a Renaissance festival that are very much like the living in the Renaissance for short periods of time. But there are two similarities. One is weather is everything, and the other is that the middle classes, the merchant class, the in particular performers, eat the scraps left over by the nobility, because there really is a lot of that used to entertain at the feast, and we'd be outside the feast salivating and hoping there would be some leftovers and that the cook had made a little extra, because then we'd get to chow down on. And so there's an element of that in there.
That's nice. I like that. There's also, of course, the very irritating bit about how Parfi isn't going to talk that much about the horses because it would only bore the reader.
How is that irritating? I thought that was good that he made that decision.
That 2-page long decision.
I really like the bit of it. And then I don't know if you noticed the callback later in the chapter with this little thing about just a quick reference.
Oh, yeah, that this horse had a nice gait or whatever.
A fiery beast.
When I kicked you?
Yeah,
that was when I noticed that.
You kicked me. Got it.
Yeah, that's that's how you can tell.
It just never gets old.
All right. Well, it seems like after this we might get to deal with some civil unrest. So we're just going to get further and further away from
reality. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the serious side of it, is that when you're writing fantastical fiction, reading fantastical fiction, it gives you, for one thing, in fact, you are reading or writing about the here and now because you have to. That's what we have. That's where we're coming from. But the other is that sometimes it can give you some perspectives that are a little harder to get at in realistic fiction.
Nice.
And that should generate some argument, but we'll see.
Hooray. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to chapter 12, and I hope you all are too.
Bye.
Join us next time.